Oh, what? Tony,
Yes.
what is this?
Well, it's my Yankee hat, Ben. I'm a Yankee fan, a diehard Yankee fan.
I gotta fix that for you.
Oh.
That's much better. Pawtucket hot wieners. There you go.
Oh, I'm getting hungry. Maybe we can go out and get some coffee, milk, and some wieners, Ben.
Onlyville, pick up, baby.
All right, we're ready.
We can go to Seacon. We can go to Eats. We'll see George.
We see George.
We can hit all the hot spots. Folks, welcome to the Carpooling with Ben. It's that time of year to do good things for people who are well-deserving. And a great person joins me in the car, a legend on the local airwaves. Every Saturday you can hear him on the Big Blue Bug Solutions radio show. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tony DeJesus. Sir,
Ben, thank you.
it is a pleasure, it's an honor to have you in the car.
It's an honor to be in the car with you. This is great. I've followed you. This is awesome.
Believe me, I've been following you for years. How long have you had that show on WPRO?
Consistently now, over 20 years, but in total, because we were off the air for a couple of years and then back on when management changed and the program director changed. So but we've been doing it for about 25 years.
That is just such a great public service you do out there. Of course, I've had the Goldman family in the car before.
Yes, singing.
Yes, and very well, I might add. They've been in the car before, and they've talked about how, despite giving out all that free advice you give out every Saturday morning, the business thrives, and that's just the good-hearted nature, because you believe that, you know, people, they maybe find the information on the internet. We'd rather have it come from you.
Right.
And when they do get that problem that they need you guys are there.
And that's the hope, you know, and you try to help people out, you know, by giving them a little bit of free advice. You're hoping that sometime when they have a bad problem that they can't handle, they will call you.
Sure.
And we do, from our inspectors on the road, we do get a lot of feedback that people say they listen to the show.
Oh, it's great. I mean, it really is. It's educational programming. You could, if you have a child at home that is interested in bugology, is that the study of bugs?
Entomology.
Entomology. There you go. That it should be required listening for school. It should be a required course for colleges. You guys do so much over there, Big Blue Bug Solutions. But one of the things that you do every year is you have developed this program where you're taking care of veterans, which is a program that is just awesome. Talk to me about this program you do every year, because it's starting up.
Yes, it's starting up right now. It's called Operation ROVAC, which stands for Remembering Our Vets at Christmas. And it was a while ago. This is going to be our 19th year, so maybe like 20 years ago, I was driving by the Veterans Home in Bristol. And thank God it's a brand new one now. It's beautiful. Yeah. But back then it was a smaller home and everything. And I was driving by and I had my dad in the car. And my dad was a World War II veteran of the United States Navy, and my wife's dad was also an Army veteran. But my dad says to me, you know, if you ever have to put me in a nursing home, that's where I'd want to go. I'd want to go out there to be with my fellow vets. Yeah. So, you know, the idea kind of hit me. And then, fortunately, he never got that sick that we had to put him in a nursing home. But one day I was driving by, and I just went in to take a look at it. And they gave me the 10-cent tour, took me around, explained things to me. And they had a big, huge Christmas tree in the rotunda. And I saw a few gifts under the Christmas tree. And I said to the woman, did you get a lot of gifts here? And she says, well, unfortunately not. You know, a lot of times people get out here, the World War II vets and Korean vets, they get forgotten out here. And we don't get a lot of gifts. So I asked permission to try to raise some money to get some gifts going. And I brought the idea to Steve Goldman. And Steve immediately said, well, let me give you some money to get it going.
It's not hard to convince them when
no,
it's a great
it really
idea.
isn't. It really isn't.
It's generous family.
An open heart. Him and Brian and Scott the same way now. And I asked, and they funded it first, getting it going. And we went out, we bought a bunch of gifts. I mentioned it on the radio show, told some people they could bring down gifts, and some people showed up. And we had a few bags that year on the back of my Toyota. We took them down there. And then the next year it got a little bit bigger, and it got a little big. And year after year it's grown. And then we got people like Cardi's Furniture involved. Nick, Ron, and Pete they've been just tremendous to the veterans out there. And now we have the Rhode Island Council Knights of Columbus involved with us, and a lot of troops. And now it gets to the point now we rent a U-Haul to take all the gifts down to them.
It's so great what you guys do every year, and the simple thought of remembering our veterans at Christmas, because you're right. they do get forgotten.
Yes.
You know, it's one of the things that, you know, my grandfather, when he was alive, you know, he would always take time to talk to people of his generation and older, and just because, you know, they have to stick together. So the beauty of that new home, the new Bristol Beauty,
it's gorgeous
it
out
is,
there. It is absolutely spectacular.
well deserved.
Yes, and well deserved. Definitely.
You know, and I'm so glad that that's up there, and we've got great support from great people like Director Kasim Yarn,
Yes.
Operation Stand Down Rhode Island, all the different agencies out there, always working with our vets, young or old. So how does this program work now? Because originally started as jackets and warmer clothing, because these vets, you know, some of these folks, these gentlemen and ladies need it.
Right. And what we do is we'll get gifts like underwear, socks, jackets, sweaters, pajamas, just anything you think someone could use. And any sizes, they go from size small all the way up to 3X.
Yep.
So any sizes, and we want all new items. We want
Right.
things with tags on, so we give them something new. And it's taken off kind of down there with the men and women who work there, that they bag up gifts so that at Christmas morning when they bring breakfast, the vets are all getting gifts too.
That's great.
So it's like a little extra something for them. And then we've collected so much that they keep of a supply. So if somebody wears out, they need a sweater, they just go in and they pull out one of the new ones we have. Or if they bring in a vet that's homeless and he's, you know, literally the clothes on his back as well, they can give him a whole outfits.
Yeah.
And it's really just something that the people out there have gotten together with us, and thankfully for all the listeners at WPRO and all the folks at the Knights of Columbus and Cardi's and everything that have helped us out. It's just been wonderful.
It truly is something special. And, you know, when my grandfather passed 2 years ago, when we were cleaning out some stuff, we found some brand new long johns.
Right. Yeah.
And just stuff that he had gotten over the years. And I said, Graham, let's just put it aside. I got the place for it. Don't you worry, we'll take care of that post haste.
That's it.
And so if people want to drop off these items, they can bring it to any Cardi's Furniture and Mattresses location.
Yep. They'll take them. They can drop them off at our office at 161 O'Connell Street, is where the Big Blue Bug is, and ask for me if I'm there. I'd be glad to come out and meet them.
You can meet Tony DeJesus when you make your donation.
You know, and also we will come to them and get them if they can't get to us.
Yeah.
Our technicians volunteer their time to go to people's homes, and we'll pick up anything. I don't care if it's one shirt. We'll come out to your home and get it for you, so you can still get it to us, which is the important thing.
It's so great. Let's talk business for a little bit. You know, the winter time, you know, the bugs like to hibernate, so you guys slow down a little bit.
Right.
But it's the busier time because your ongoing training and education. You guys have a wonderful facility and your technicians.
Right.
So talk to me about the training.
Yeah, all of our technicians are licensed. So in order to get a state license, you have to have so many continuing education credits every 3 years or 5 years, depending which state you're working in, Mass or Rhode Island, to keep your license. So we have to constantly train them. Plus, our industry changes. New techniques come out. We learn more about the biology of insects and ways to control them. So this is all stuff that we try to inbred in our technicians.
That's great. And the customer service training is always ongoing. You guys have excellent customer service. You got a wonderful staff out there. How long have you been working?
I'm in my 41st year.
So how was it possible that you started when you were 7 years old? Like, I don't understand.
I wish I was,
how does that
I was
math
7,
work?
but you know, it was interesting. My grandfather worked for the company for 40 years.
He worked with
he worked with the Goldmans. He worked with
Wow.
He actually worked with Steve's father, and my cousin worked for the company for over 40 years too, almost 50 years.
Well, that's great. And it's a wonderful Rhode Island legacy company here. The Big Blue Bug has been in so many different movies, so many different shows. I think it's featured in the Denver airport as well.
Yes, it is. In the map out of Denver airport, they have something for every state in the country. And there is our Big Blue Bug for representing Rhode Island.
That is so awesome. I always tell people the story. I think it was 2003 when they took the bug off the roof to give them a little tune-up.
Yep.
And people ended up in New Hampshire that were trying to go to Cape Cod.
Exactly.
Because they used to seeing the Blue Bug, and that's when they would take
And
195.
or people gave directions. As soon as you go by the Big Blue Bug, you look for the 195 and you go on, and people were calling us, what happened to the bug? Where is it?
And it was cool because you actually put it on a trailer right before it went out for refurbishment and went on tour.
Right.
We had it at Cardi's in West
Furniture,
Warwick.
that's right,
And
Cardi's.
people were lined up I found these bug swatters from years ago. We were helping out. It was because people it was a rare opportunity to get a photo up close, touch the big blue bug. Nibbles Woodaway as his formal name. So that's awesome. Tony, thank you so much for everything you do for the veterans, for Rhode Island, and the show is awesome. Folks, tune in. You got to listen. If you don't have a bug question and it sounds a little slow, just give them a little bit of a ribbing about the Yankees. That's always a great idea. Oh my goodness!
I got to give you Red Sox credit though; they played well. It's one of the best teams I've seen in a long time watching baseball.
Tony DeJesus, ladies and gentlemen, follow Big Blue Bug Solutions. Get involved with Operation R.O.V.A.C. It's a wonderful, wonderful program, and it all stays local. Tony,
Ben, thank you so much.
Pleasure to have you in the car,
Pleasure
good
to
sir.
be with you.